Welcome to another episode of CJAS Vlogs and Inspiration. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Today I'm taking you on a very special journey. It's very emotional for me because it's a journey that has been more than 3 years in the making. It's part of my medium-term goals and a bold step of faith. Visiting a physical Barnes and Noble store in South Miami with a vision of seeing all of my 8 books on their shelves someday. By the grace of God, soon. Barnes & Noble is the top bookstore in the United States with over 600 stores across all 50 states. As a Caribbean author and a woman of faith, this is more than just a business goal for me. It's a spiritual milestone. And I want to bring you along, so let's go. I'm sharing a little bit of Miami. This is the Miami Metro that I'm on. I was able to travel with ease. I bought an all-day pass and it gave me access to buses that I needed to get on and off until I completed that journey in South Miami and also to return to the eastern side of Miami. Let me just take a moment to shout out the Miami Metro HR team, the human resources team. Your recruitment and selection of drivers is top notch. And this is coming from someone who has trained HR practitioners. I have taught at the university level in HR, and I am absolutely delighted with the outcome of your efforts. The drivers I met were courteous, knowledgeable, and incredibly helpful. But you know what moved me most? Watching how they interacted with the elderly and disabled commuters. Their patience, respect, and compassion were extraordinary. This is how public service should look in every country, in every sector. Before I reached Barnes & Noble, I took a little stroll. The greenery, the layout, the vibrance of South Miami, it was beautiful. And of course, typical ladies, I stopped in at a few stores to explore the area. It felt good to pause and take in the scenery. Even in the pursuit of a serious goal, I've learned to embrace the little joys of the journey. This sabbatical and work trip has been God-ordained from start to finish. Sometimes walking in your calling means getting up and physically walking across cities, borders, and barriers. And there it is, Barnes & Noble, South Miami. I've seen their stores online. I've researched them. I've prayed about this for years as I continued to write. But today, I walked into the store with purpose. I didn't just go to browse. I went to plant a seed. I had a brief but meaningful interaction with the manager, shared who I was, gave him my business card, and introduced my books. I took 5 of them with me. I didn't go with a sales pitch. I went with faith. I walked by faith and not by sight. I went with facts and a fierce sense of purpose. The manager was hospitable, pleasant, helpful. Let me share a little bit about the 8 books I'm believing will be on Barnes & Noble shelves across the U.S. A Closer Walk with God for Christian Family Devotions. The Governance Public Debt Nexus Student Edition. It is part of my PhD thesis, revised for the layperson to understand easily. The Art of Effective Leadership. Enjoy Your Singleness for Christian Singles. Smart Goals, 7 Steps Planning Guide. Impactful Prayers Touching Heaven. Silent Vows. Overcome Imposter Syndrome to Achieve Success. And more. Each of these books is a seed of wisdom crafted through years of prayer, study, and service. Sometimes purpose takes you far. It took me from the eastern side of Miami all the way to the south, through heat, through bus stops, and through unfamiliar routes, but it was worth it. God has shown me again that when you walk in faith, He walks with you. I give all the praise and glory to God for this sabbatical and work mission from Jamaica to Miami to Mexico back to Miami. It's not about the outcome I see now, it's about the obedience. Faith without works is dead, and today was about putting in the work. This entire sabbatical journey is about putting in the work. Here I am looking at a book written by American politician Stacey Abrams and envisioning my books alongside these books on governance, current affairs, politics in Barnes and Noble stores. God is able to do whatever we can ask or think or imagine if we will put our faith to work. There is absolutely no one on this earth that can tell me that God, my God, is not real, because I have experienced Him in my life. Coming on this sabbatical journey, I asked God to open doors of favor for me. And believe me when I tell you that God did not just allow the doors to be opened. He allowed them to be swung wide open. From the vendors in Playa del Carmen, to the airline crew, to the persons to whom I had to complain when I had an issue with the airline, to the hospitality staff at each of the accommodation establishments where I stayed, to the marketplace, to the food stalls, to the stores that I went to. Everywhere I went as a child of God, He opened doors and allowed the people to swing them wide open. God is real. I want to testify to someone, especially to those persons who will purchase the 7-Step SMART Goal Planning Guide. When you write those goals down, before you write them down, ask God to order your thoughts so that the goals that you will set will be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound, and purposeful according to His plan. Because you can set goals, but the goals are not in God's plan for you. So first and foremost, I recommend that you set goals that are sanctioned by God. And then you begin the steps towards achieving the goals. It's not going to drop in your lap. You have to do the work. It may mean that you have to study for a particular skill or a particular knowledge base to increase. You've got to do the work. But once God has His purpose orchestrated in your life, you will succeed, and you will you'll not just succeed, but you will thrive. As I walked out of the Barnes and Noble store in South Miami, they have gone up a rung higher on my ladder of regard because of the professionalism of the manager, his helpfulness, his ability to provide me with the information that I needed, and also just the general management of the store as I observed the operation. It was a delightful experience. So now that we've completed our visit to Barnes & Noble, let me take you across the road to a few of the stores so that you can have an idea as to what is available in this area should you so wish to visit this part of Florida. I'm going to be stopping first in a sports goods store, and then I'll take you along that corridor to take a quick peek into a few other stores there. You'll realize that the brands that are sold in these stores are usually well-known brands, and so they are priced accordingly. So don't be surprised by the prices that you see on the tags as I take a quick look inside and take you along the journey with me. The store rep was quite polite, very helpful. It was a pleasant, brief experience stopping in that store. So should you ever be in South Florida and in need of those brands, you can take a look inside and maybe shop a little bit if you so desire. If you're seeing this in July of 2025, there is a special offer by all of the stores in South Florida, so you may be able to benefit from discounts on the prices that you're seeing on the tags in some or maybe most of the stores. Saw some beautiful Indian outfits in the store, passed by, and something just pulled me back, so I decided to step in. Where's the entrance?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
Everything good?
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Great.
Let us know if you need help. Just to let you know, the city of South Miami is having events for the whole month of July.
Awesome.
So this week we have 25% off.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It surely is a small world. After browsing, I had a little chit chat with the owner of the store and discovered that she had just returned from Jamaica and her sister is married to relatives of my very first boss, the Chatanis in Ocho Rios. Her sister has a store in Kingston, Jamaica. It is a small world. Something just pulled me back to the store. We had a lovely chat, shared my business card with her, and I definitely will be checking out her place, God willing, when I come back to South Florida. If you're ever in the South Florida area, stop by her store. She's a delightful person and willing to negotiate. If you see something that you like, she'll give you a nice discount. So stop by and shop if you ever are in the South Florida area. So here I was finding my way back over to the terminus to get on the Metrobus or Metro train to get back over to the eastern side of Florida where I was staying. Walked up to the person who was manning the terminus to inquire about the easiest way to get back to that side. He was a little bit curt, so I ended up having to search around a little bit, ask a few more questions of other commuters until I found myself back downstairs and was fortunate to identify a bus that was heading back in the direction I needed to go. Whoever is responsible for recruitment, selection, and training of the excellent bus drivers in the metro system can probably look at this team to see how they can administer similar training, or perhaps in the recruitment and the selection process, how they can perhaps select persons who are more service oriented rather than persons who are somewhat indifferent in key positions like this to people in the commuting public, because many persons have to traverse these areas, and I have found that this particular team really needs training in hospitality, in customer service, and in helping people to navigate the use of the metro system. So HR, you can probably look at this team and give them similar training that you have given to the drivers that are excellent. As I boarded the bus back, I couldn't help but reflect on how blessed I was. The same driver who took me there was available for the return journey. A sweet reminder that when God orders your steps, He also orders your transportation. I was tired, but fulfilled. I knew I had taken a step that many dream of, but few execute. And it's just the beginning. We have to recognize that faith without work is dead. This is just one Barnes and Noble store. But the vision for the long term is for all 600 Barnes and Noble stores to have my books on their shelves. It might sound ambitious, but when God gives you a vision, it's not just about you. It's about the lives that will be transformed, the lives that you will touch by fulfilling your purpose, the minds you will shape when the testimonies you will leave behind and receive are shared with the present and future generation. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. As I looked at the landscape of South Florida, this is a beautiful, beautiful environment for an ecotourism resort. So if any decision maker or anyone who knows a decision maker is listening to or watching this video, I would love to speak with the persons who are developing this area about the potential for ecotourism and the vast difference that could make to the economy of South Florida and the wider Miami, Florida area of the United States of America. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. Remember to subscribe. I'm believing for partnerships, for distribution, for doors to open in supernatural ways. But I also know that I have a role to play, showing up, presenting, praying, and persevering. So to all my fellow authors, dreamers, and faith walkers, I say this: don't wait for the door to open. Get up, go, knock, travel if you have to. Speak up when you must, and trust that the one who gave you the vision is able to bring it to pass. Even if it takes 3 years, even if it takes longer. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. Thank you for your prayers, support, encouragement, your purchases of my books. This is just the start of what God is doing. Let's continue to walk together with purpose, with faith, and with action. Remember, faith without work is dead. We've got to get up and do the work. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to CJAS Vlogs and Inspiration. Share this video with someone who needs a boost of faith for their big dreams. Until next time, stay inspired, stay focused, stay faithful. Keep your eyes on the prize. Fulfill your purpose. This is CJAS Vlogs and Inspiration, your oasis for spiritual and personal growth. God bless you. Have a wonderful life.